Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from the media room at Yavapai College, and Yavapai College is one of our sponsors, along with our title sponsor, Mercedes-Benz. And of course, we'd like to thank our volunteers, our restaurateurs, hoteliers for year after year have contributed to this festival. We are so grateful to you. And we always call this a Filmmakers Film Festival. Movie Maker magazine has quoted us to be the top 25 coolest film festivals, and it is an honor that we just love to have. And joining me now is one of the filmmakers, Maddie, and please tell us your film.
The film is A Brutal, Beautiful Life, directed by Bo Gauckren.
And I'm not even going to say that because it's like a tongue twister. So tell us about, first, how did you come up with that title? Because it's not easy to say, but it's probably so beautiful for the film.
I think we wanted to convey the idea that ranching, it's a short documentary about ranching, especially involving women, that it's a nuanced business, it's a nuanced livelihood, and there's beautiful portions of it, and there's also really tough days, tough decisions. So that was the idea behind the title. For sure.
And are you in ranching yourself, or you just know people?
I day work, which is to say I don't own any cattle myself, but I work for ranchers.
Mm-hmm. So we do have a trailer, so let's take a look at that.
Ranching's a beautiful life, but it is stressful. You have to make peace with all the life and death and brutality because it's daily. You have to kind of toughen up. You just have to.
Wow. So basically that's, like I was looking at that and it just pains me sometimes. Like I know branding is important, but I'm sitting here going, oh, God, the poor animal. But, I know it's necessary, but somewhat necessary for the ranch.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see the feedback that we've gotten in a community like a film festival because a lot of the struggles that we have or struggles that the animals have are in our very agricultural related perspective. And when you zoom out to incorporate a greater community like a film festival, you'll get pushback. Presenting a film like this was a conversation that I had with the director on how much attention outdoor recreation gets in media in general, at film festivals also, kind of the adrenaline-fueled, awesome type of epic snowboarding or mountain biking. And it's nice to be able to point out that, our public lands, for instance, are multi-use, and that a lot of times the quiet voices, which I consider to be, most ranching, it's not Yellowstone, and most ranchers are very sensitive around the treatment of their animals and the treatment of the land, and that was a conversation worth bringing to the screen.
Well, I think it's interesting because, your perception could be a little bit different, right? So when you see the branding and you see in the trailer, when you see one of the cattle being pulled, your perception immediately is like, this doesn't look like it looks more like abuse than it does look like anything else. So, in watching that would be like even my perception, but you're bringing it to the forefront that it's a little bit different, that it's a necessary kind of thing.
Branding is, I think, a very high energy moment in a cow or a calf's life. I think that very few people would appreciate that we have cows that live 10, 13, 15 years, and 99% of their life is unfettered. They're on huge expanses of land, not being bothered by humans. And it's 100% true that cattle have at least one bad moment of their lives, but in the grand scheme of things, that's compared to some other animals that have very stressful lives. They're from birth to death. That's something to consider.
Yeah. So with your film, this is the first time, this is your first film.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank
This
you.
is the first time that you've been in a film festival
Yes,
here
ma'am.
in Sedona. Your film has been shown already, correct?
Yes.
So you were talking about, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, talking about audience reaction. So what was some of the reaction, and did it surprise you?
This film focuses on women ranchers, and that was more serendipitous than we didn't start out to represent women solely. So a lot of people appreciated that. There's a lot of strong women out there. In terms of the pushback from the people who are not proponents of ranching, I think the host, the Sedona Film Festival host, did a really great job of saying this is a community where we respect all ideas, and that it's very likely that, ranching is not the Duntons on Yellowstone.
Yes, right.
It's a lot more nuanced than that.
Mhm.
And as the film says, we would not be in this business if we didn't love animals and put a lot of thought and sensitivity into how we manage our days and our animals.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's absolutely right? And it's a beautiful way of, like, everybody here that comes to this film festival has some kind of perspective of whatever subject that they bring, and it's really their view, or they want someone to see the view or the reality or whatever it is. So, we applaud our filmmakers because that's really where the messages get out. That's where the stories get told, and basically that's what film's all about, is telling the stories so people can talk about it and learn about it.
Yeah. Another documentary short that we saw was Motorcycle Mary, which talked a lot about the Baja 500. And I was thinking about that when we had a reaction that was pretty anti-ranching at the question and answer. And you could easily look at Motorcycle Mary as the ecological impact they're having on the Baja over generations of running that race. And that was not the focus, and yet it's there. So, yeah, like you
Right.
said, a diversity of viewpoints, and there's always nuance to stories.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Maddie, how can people find out about your film? Do you have a website or a Instagram page or anything like that?
Right, so the best website to be directed to is the director's name, BoGochran.com.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being part of the film festival. Is it going to be shown again?
It was shown twice here, and
Okay.
that's our hurrah, so.
Awesome. So they can find you basically online. So.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us. We hope that you come back again to Sedona.
Thank
It's such
you.
a
I hope so,
pleasure
too.
talking to you. And you need to bring another film and another idea.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for being with us. And don't forget to follow us on social media, Sedona Film Fest, as well as our Facebook page, where we're coming to you live with filmmaker interviews throughout the day. Stay with us. Awesome. Thank you. See, that wasn't painful. You did great. I'm the one who flubbed up.